Sorry about that. Hi there, how are you? All right, so how do you pronounce your name? Is it Aish or Aish? I want to make sure I call you the right thing. So nice to have you here. I am, oh boy, this is buzzy now. Darn it. See if I can recover. Like Ash. Oh, okay. Hi, Ash. Thank you for helping me with phonetics. I apologize for the blurry screen. What is going on here? All right, hang on, guys. Not my most elegant beginning. Oh, it is looking clear to you? Okay, well that makes me feel better, Ash. I'm not sure. Well, hopefully it's just my computer. As long as it looks good to you. Hopefully no one's getting seasick. All right, if it doesn't look clear or it looks blurry, please do let me know at any point, Ash. All right, so today I'm going by the seat of my pants a bit because I have two kids at home. And, oh, hi, Studio on the Bluff. Good, thank you for confirming that. I have two kids at home. Desperately trying to do this live since I missed last week because I was not feeling well last week. And I think I had a kid home as well last week. So I recently organized all of my collage papers. And that was quite a project, or at least all my tissue papers. And I had some kind of odds and ends here that I don't really have enough of to do anything great. But there's some kind of wild combinations of colors and textures. So I thought I would use these today. And I thought, you know, I'm having a weird day with all these children home, not feeling well, and I'm a little stir crazy myself. So then I thought, why not just make it into a panel? So today I have this 12 by 16 panel that I'll be working with. And I have no idea how far I'll get, but I figured why not go for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put down some medium and get some collage going. So I like to be free and easy in the beginning normally. So with any luck, I'll just kick it up a notch and really get something going. Don't want to think too much. I've been chatting with a lot of people who have just been having trouble overthinking things, which is totally natural. I mean, I do it more than I'd like to admit. And I think it's just an ongoing thing that we all just need to practice. I don't think, well, I mean, tell me if you've overcome it and you never ever worry about overthinking again. Please teach me your ways. But I think it's just something that we'll all just, you know, continue practicing, and the more we practice things, right, the better you get. And that's what I'm counting on. It's kind of interesting. So one way that I'm choosing to do that today, to not think so much, is I'm literally just starting with this random group of papers, right? I have not orchestrated any kind of color scheme or color palette for this. I'm just starting with these extra papers, and I'm gonna see what happens. And once I get some papers down, I'll be able to react then to what colors are here, what textures I like, and I'll be able to go from there. So I guess I'm using the old just leap and the step will appear philosophy, where I don't have any indication of where I'm going with this. But I'm going to start anyway. I often have my best or most successful art making sessions when I do that. Hi Maggie, how are you? That's kind of cool. Painting pears, nice. Are you doing a series of pears or are you doing a painting that has multiple pears in it? I was watching a video by, calls himself, he does Bob Blasts. His name's Bob, gosh, what's his last name? Eldridge, I think. I'll put a link to him in the description here when I'm done. But he was doing a ton of pears and different iterations of pears, and I was kind of thinking, because I'm a sucker for pears myself, that it looked like a lot of fun. Burridge, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Ash. I was like, I've been watching his videos lately, and I just found him, and I really like him. He's got some really cool stuff. He's super direct with his teaching, and it's just super practical. So I definitely like him. Good. Hello, Philip. Nice to have you here. Are you, so is it Friar Philip? Do tell. You guys are, it's so fun to have people join me, because right now I'm just home alone. Well, I'm not home alone. My husband is here, but he's working. And I have my 2 kids. And without you guys, I just talk to the same 3 people all the time. So it's so nice to have people join me. Father, Dominican friar. Cool. Well, welcome, Father. So what is everyone working on? Maggie's working on pears. I'm attempting something, TBD, what this is going to turn into. You know, it's funny, I really like this paper. I think it was, what was it? It was from some sort of packaging. I bought something like shampoo or something, and it came in this black paper. Of course, I had to keep the paper. But it kind of turns my medium like a dark gray, or some of the black picks up. So trying to understand the goal of abstract. Get going turns into a mess. Good for you, Ashley. Hey, man, I am happy to... Everyone should be able to do some bad paintings. And sometimes I forget and I get stuck in like, oh, well, I don't want to make it unless it's going to be beautiful. But if you never make it, you can't kind of start out thinking I'm going to make something beautiful. At least I haven't had luck with that. That just puts a lot of pressure on me. And I get stuck in my perfectionism and everything else. But if you try to make something, try to do 2 bad paintings, then you're guaranteed you're going to make something, and you might even love them. Let's see. So, Maggie, in terms of like abstract becoming a mess, I feel like sometimes mine really just is a mess. and that's just part of the process. I think if you can keep going or like step away for a little while and then come back to it, you may find that it's not as much of a mess as you thought when you were making it, because time does help. A little distance helps me. But, you know, who knows? If it's a fun thing for you to challenge yourself with, then by all means keep going. If you're not loving it, then you certainly don't have to do it. Now this is kind of cool. I also find myself saving things for a special occasion, which for me just means I never use it. Do you guys do that too? Sometimes I get too precious. Well, a lot of times I get too precious, let's be honest. But I'm getting better at just trying things out. Don't understand. Oh, so you have trouble finding the focal point? Yeah, it's I don't know what to say about that, because honestly, I don't think a whole lot about focal points when I'm making things. Probably should. So lots of times my stuff comes out and it's pretty busy, but I'm kind of okay with that. Well, I mean, do you need a focal point? You know, if you want one, then you do. If you don't want one, you don't have to have one. There's many different types of compositions, and one of them, I'm trying to think what it's called, like scatter or something like that, where they're just kind of things all over the canvas in all different ways. Like if you think of somebody who just makes a bunch of like dots or circles all over, and it can look really neat, but it's not, you know, it's things are evenly spread all around. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think you need to have a focal point, but you need to get to a point where you like what you've made. So that, I think, is much more important than specifically being able to point to your focal point. Because if you like what you've made and you feel like, you know, you're proud of it, then honestly, probably it has a focal point or two in there, even if you don't have the ability to point it out. My guess would be it would probably have something in there. But even if you don't, I mean, people like originality. People like the things that you like. You just have to find your people. The longer I live, the more I realize that there's no substitute for finding your people. Sorry about that. The hacking in the back. That's my son, who's currently home from school. You can hear him kind of barking in the back. So I'm not actually coming to you live from a tuberculosis ward. Just say something like that. Oh, I already stuck that to the bottom. All right. Oh, I do want to tell you guys, because I'm really bad at marketing, you guys. Well, I'm learning to be better, but I'm really bad at marketing. I did open up my process art course. It's a 5-week class. It's going to start a week from Friday. So it's going to start February 3rd. And I have a 5-week session of Fridays and a 5-week session of Saturdays. And it's more of like a art and wellness thing. So I'm teaching people how to use a simple process to aid in your self-care. So, sorry, my son's getting closer. Oh boy.
I accidentally spilled underneath. I spilled the humidifier. I was trying to carry it upstairs and I don't want to be downstairs.
Okay, hang on. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. My son spilled a humidifier downstairs, so. And of course, my cousin's on a work call. Now I'm out of breath. Okay. Sip of tea. All right. It's probably time for more Motrin for that guy. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh, I think I was talking about the workshop. The workshop is, so it's going to be 5 weeks, and it's really all about process art. Process art is just, it's really just a way of pairing, well, for me, pairing mindfulness with art making. So we're concerned about what it feels like to make art, not so much what it looks like at the end. So that could mean, hey, we're using oil pastels today. I really like, that orange one. I want to use that orange one. Ooh, you might normally think like, oh, I don't know, I normally don't use orange. Well, in the process art class, we're trying to focus on doing, kind of honoring your impulses. So, hey, what if you do use that orange color? Why are you fighting that? But more so just, hey, you wanted to use it. Go ahead and use it. And, explore that. When you're done using that one, use something else. And then we do a little bit of journal writing. We set an intention. Yes, Maggie, it's a Zoom workshop. Thank you. It's a Zoom workshop. It's 5 weeks. Each day is a 2-hour session. So it's 10:30 to 12:30, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Chicago time. And it will start Friday, February 3rd or Saturday, February 4th, depending on which workshop you sign up for. So I'm going to keep the sessions small. So I'm going to offer probably like a maximum of 8 people per session, just because I want to make sure that, if we're going to be writing and free writing and being brave, right, and just making things and showing them to each other, I want to make sure people start to feel comfortable with the group, and it's not just a huge space where people get lost or forgotten or feel, I don't know, I want people to feel safe and invited and comfortable. So if that's of interest to anyone, let me know if you have questions here for sure. You can also check the website, which is just JackieSchomburg.com/workshops. And that has much more information. But I did a free session about a month ago, and it was great because one of the things that I really love about this process, it's super simple. Once you know how to do it, you can do it anytime, kind of anywhere. And even in that free session, people had like little, like mini breakthroughs. And what I mean by that is, I guess we're all so distracted, myself at the top of that list. And my numbing of choice, right, is to just scroll through Facebook or watch Netflix, right? And I find myself wasting so much time there, but also I keep doing it. So it's something for me to work on. But because I'm doing that, I'm not actually like listening to myself. And I'm not listening to my needs. I'm not listening to what feels good or what doesn't feel good. I'm just kind of avoiding things, right? And we just all have our own things that we do, right? We just do. Some people are constantly with other people. Some people work a lot. Some people sleep a lot. Whatever it is, we all do our own versions of that. And when we stop for a minute and take a breath and give ourselves a little bit of time, we often make connections that we hadn't thought about. And they seem really obvious once we realize them, right? Like everything in life. once you know the answer, it seems obvious. But it's not obvious because you didn't know it before you actually took the time and figured it out. So it's a really special process. And I explain it, and I also have like links to a few videos where I do this process on the YouTube channel and also on the workshops page on my website. So if you're curious, you can see me going through the process, or at least explain the process. And you can always email me with any questions you have or ask them here too. Now that I've caught my breath, let me go back and see what questions I missed, if I missed anything. Yes, Maggie, so it is a Zoom workshop. And again, it's Saturdays or Fridays from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Chicago time. Awesome. Yay. The bottle, this is gloss medium. So I'm using this like condiment ketchup container for my paints. But it's just gloss medium that I buy in bulk and then I pour in there. And this is really thin gloss medium, and I kind of like that because it dries quickly. And your name's Amira, right? I'm pretty sure. But please correct me if I'm wrong. My name my name memory is usually pretty tragic, but I think you're Amira. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more things and then get some paint on here. Sure, why not? I'll do that. Again, as always, highly recommend picking up a paint chip or two whenever you're at a hardware store. They always come in handy for me. Oh, thanks. This is Bear paint. Color is Voyage, should you need any rooms painted. I let my kids get paint chips as well, because it's a nice way to keep them from asking me to buy everything in the store. All right, well, you know what? It's interesting. I didn't expect to like this layer at all, but there's something about it that I'm already enjoying. And I think one main reason for that is that there's a lot of differences, right? There's a lot of contrast here. So I've got this smooth, blue with very little texture. I've got this kind of celadon browny orange thing that has tons of texture, visual texture. Got lots of other texture here. Got some writing, some more plain. All right, I'm happy. So let's add some paint. Now that I have the collage here, I can make some informed decisions about my color palette. And I think I'm going to bring out my yellow ochre. All right, so I've got some Payne's Gray. Oh, bye, Father Philip. Thanks for stopping in. All right, I've got some celadon. A little bit of quinacridone gold. Some yellow ochre. And I think I'm going to do some phthalo turquoise. And I'll actually use brushes today. Now I get stuck with my color shaper. All right, so I did not gesso this board at all. It does have some, it's kind of pre-gessoed, but there's very little texture on here. So that may be interesting. What to start with? I'm going to mix some of this Payne's gray with the turquoise. It's a pretty blue. It's actually almost the color of this blue here. I like how this is staining. It's kind of staining this board, right? See if my dots work. I think they might not, because me wiping off the blue, oh, they did. Wiping off the blue really dries things up, but it worked. Hooray! Now I'm doing some turquoise with some yellow ochre, which created this kind of pea soup color. I'm not sure I'm in love with that, so I'm going to add a bunch of white. Somehow, whenever I add a lot of white, the colors become, well, much less saturated, which helps. But also it kind of turns everything into a neutral. So, like that's a nice, it's almost my own new Celadon green color, right? Love scratching in. I love seeing the colors underneath. All right, so these colors are kind of all that same medium tone. So my brain is telling me I need something lighter. So I'm adding some yellow ochre to white. This is giving me a nice cream. So I like the shape that I just painted, so I'm just painting around it to highlight it a bit more. this with panels, because I haven't found it to be all that successful, but that worked pretty well. Oh, bye Maggie. Thanks for coming. Definitely check out the workshop and let me know if you have any questions. All right, well, that's a nice edge. Very happy with that. You know, it's funny, I can tell that I'm in my mind too much because I'm starting to like this and now I'm starting to get attached. So I need to break that. But how? I could just scribble over the whole thing, but I'm not feeling like being destructive today. So just gonna keep going. Sometimes just knowing what your tendency is will help enough to stop you from going down the deep end. And my goal is to actually announce my lives before I start them. But today that was not what I did. I was trying to make sure that I actually did it before I caved and just hung out with my kids, which I will be doing after this. It's hard because obviously I love my kids and want them to be feeling well. But whenever they're not feeling well, my whole day kind of shuts down because then I've got to be mama instead of Jackie. So finding ways to be mom and Jackie, which means me taking some time out for my art even when they're homesick. And luckily my husband's home, working from home, so that I can do that today. All right, I'm going to use the hairdryer to dry this because every time I try to add something light, it's kind of swallowing it up. So mind your ears. Okay. Gonna add some straight yellow ochre. I was going to distress it. I'm not sure I like that look. So I'm going to add it again. Really is a beautiful thing about paint. You can always add more. And you can take it off as long as you don't wait too long. All right, I'm gonna do some pinkish tones. So I've got the yellow ochre. I'm adding some red into my white and yellow ochre mix. And some of that up here. Again, I didn't like the distressed look, but if I do this, then I can take some of these marks and bring them in. Guess my focal point right now is down here. The red, no doubt, is a huge, bright color that pulls focus, but also this black and white. This is the high contrast, as high contrast as you can possibly get with black and white, because white's the lightest and black's the darkest. So I like where this is going. And it's time now for some more collage, because now I've lost a lot of the texture because of the different paint layers. So it's just a back and forth. More hair dryer. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to try for some red stripes. Let's see if this works. Kind of. It'll work good enough. Gives me something interesting. what my options are over here. Now this, I really like. Could use some crazy orange, but I don't think so. And I have this kind of electric green that would definitely try to compete with the red. I have to decide how much I care about that. No, I'm gonna go for it. You only live once, right? So what if I'm gonna do it here. Hey Carl, how you doing? It's good to have you here. I am currently making a mess. Good news, I like making a mess. Alright, so I'm going for some crazy green, you guys. This is not going to be a mild-mannered, super calm painting. This is going to be a, oh my gosh. Definitely an attention getter. We'll see how much that actually stays though. Breaking between shoveling. Well, welcome. I hope you have some hot chocolate in your hands for the interim. Yeah, Carl is also in Chicago, and we've had a decent chunk of snow. This is our first decent bit of snow that we've had this winter, I want to say. We have like 3 to 6 inches out the window. Anyone watching who's in Canada, if anyone's here from Canada, sorry, I know you guys have had a lot more, but still. You know, whenever I take big pieces like this, I always think, oh, do I want to cover all this up? And the answer is no, I don't, but I do want to make it interesting. And sometimes making it interesting is covering everything up. So I'll give it a shot. So this will do a couple things. One, it does cover up a bit, but it also kind of tames down some of the things underneath. You can still see them. Let me get this covered and then I'll show you. So you can still see the green, but it does tame it just a touch because now you're looking at the black line also. Now I also have this other print that I could connect to make it super trippy, but I don't want that much of it on. Though I would like it to go, see how I added it here, just if you want to know how I do stuff, I'm not saying you should do this or shouldn't, but this is how I do it. I like that this is kind of coming, that little rope or string is coming out of this black area. So I'm wondering if I want a little bit more black. connect up here. I'm not sure because this feels really middle. Try not to put things directly in the middle of my pictures. Few more things. So this white I like to have as a subtle, if I get too much subtle though, then it becomes overwhelming with detail. That's kind of fun, but maybe it's too much with the swirlies. I feel like this looks too similar to that, even though they're very different. But what if I connect it on this side? I want it to work, but I don't want to force it, and I feel like I'm trying to force it. I'm going to think about that one. No, I'm not. I'm just going to do it. We'll say that one thing that doing a live does for me is it helps me make decisions faster than I normally would. So if you guys think I'm hemming and hawing endlessly, you should be here with me when I'm by myself. It's like the perfect amount of positive peer pressure to just try something even if it doesn't work. I forgot who said it, but there's someone who says that's basically what it takes to be an artist, is you have to be willing to try things that might not work. And I think we all have our different areas that we're willing to take more risks in, even artistically. But that's one thing that doing YouTube lives has really helped me with. So thanks. Thanks for watching, so that I get to continue practicing. Alright, I want to do, I was thinking this would be a landscape. So I do want to do a bit more to make it landscapey. Unless it just decides it wants to be a grid, in which case it'll just be a grid. That's this, I like this. Maybe I'll just cut this part out. I don't like all of the netting, but I like that this black just looks like a spill. Has anyone read the Beautiful Oops book? It's a children's book. I feel like lots of adults should read it too, because we forget that mistakes aren't bad. They're just part of the process. Hi, Anne. Thanks, Anne. Yes, one day my children will all be well. I did have last week where they were all well, but last week I didn't feel good. So I'm realizing this is just the grade school experience. At least it appears to be what it is after COVID masks and whatnot. So trying to just ride the wave. All right. Do it here. Yeah, I like that. And then look, it connects up with this black a little bit. Cool. I'm gonna actually cut this off though. I feel like this is just a little dance that I do. Hi there. Mine are, what is your, let me see. Let's see if I can figure out where the breaks are. Mine are Wasp Gal. Tell me what your name is, please. I love all the handles, but it's hard for me to tell where the breaks are. Oops, I don't want to do that. Tissue paper is usually pretty good, unless you get it wet and try to reposition it. Success. It's so nice to have you guys here. As I was saying earlier, I'd just be talking to my sick children all day, every day, if it wasn't for the internet. So it's nice to see all your names pop up anyway. I don't get to see your faces. But I would love to see you guys. So hopefully in a workshop or something coming up, it would be so fun to see your faces. Well, all right, I think it's time for more paint. Got a lot of red going on this way. I'm going to cover some of it up with neutral. Oh, Saskia. It's nice to have you. All right, guys, I'm just staring at this. I'm going to add white. Whenever I can't decide, I'll just add white. Use a big brush. I keep trying to take away paint today and I don't like it. You'd think I would learn. Some of us need to learn lessons more than once before it sticks. To add paint, but you can also use a brayer to take paint away. can't wait to see what this actually looks like at the end, because right now I have no idea. This is like, this is the middle stage when I start rethinking my entire career choices. I'm exaggerating, of course, but this is the point that I used to think that artists, professional artists, never got to. I assumed that they went from point A to point B to point C to point D. And what I now know to be true, that everyone comes to these points where they're like, eee, what have I done? Where am I going? So, I'm confident that I'm going somewhere. I'm also confident that I don't know exactly where I'm going. And even though I'm confident that this is also extremely bright already, I'm just going to add more color. So this, now that I've covered that over with white, I like less, because now I don't have anything about this kind of call out in this nice little space, but now nothing's in there. So I have some quinacridone red. Let's see what this does. Should still be transparent. It's definitely red. Maybe I need it to be white. I hate to lose these colors on the back because I like them. However, I think white might be a good idea. But I'm going to make it out of something different. Jackie, stop thinking, just do it. Just try something. This consequently is part of my son's math homework that he drew little circles on. So if you're ever short on collage paper, look around you. I'm sure you have some in your house right now that you don't even know about. It will probably help you clean up some area as well. Alright, I do like that. section I've been looking at for a long time. I'm wondering if there's a place for this over here. It's almost the same shape as this, which makes me not want to use it. But I can cut it. I'm not sure what to do. So I think I'm going to back away from this slowly, take a beat, and figure some things out as to how I want to handle this going forward. But I just had one idea, so I guess I'll do that before I sign off. I should really put a clock in this room because I have no idea how long I've been going. I think about an hour. So continuing this line out, plus a little extra. Something about this made it important for me to do right now. I don't know why. Of course, the catch is, where do I stop it? I guess I just go all the way over. Enter my brain, everybody. I'm just muttering over here. All right, well, I do like that. I think I'm going to also do, that was a false alarm. We all thought I was going to stop, myself included. Oh, thanks, Carl. I feel like this is a direct reflection of my current mindset, or the state of my mind anyway. I feel like I'm very scrambled right now, but I like where it's going. I'm just along for the ride on this one. My brain is the other passenger here, which definitely beats the alternative. If my brain wasn't there. All right, I don't want this to be like that. I want my straight edge and a brush. 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 Here we go. Okay, so I'm using bone black, which is not as opaque as carbon black. So I'll still be able to keep these little dots, but it will still darken it up, which is currently my goal, apparently. I'm lifting the paint with the paper. I like to do that. For one, it will help take away some of the brush strokes. I tend to not like the brush strokes that bone black leaves. All right. This is why I come in with wet wipes all the time. Alright, well I might go through here and make these a little bit darker just to accentuate this white. But I really like where this is going. I'm probably going to work on this a little bit more. And I will post whatever it ends up looking like when it's done to Instagram. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me. Sorry about the super random interruptions earlier. It's been nice chatting with you guys. If you would like to know more about the workshop that I'm doing, please go to my website, JackieSchomburg.com/workshops. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Have a great day.